Hello, everybody. Welcome. We are back. My name is Forrest. I am at USAEFC on all socials. Jacob will be joining me shortly. He is just getting his laptop back up and ready. I don't know. He didn't explain it to me, and I didn't ask too many questions, but he'll be joining us shortly. We are back. It's been a couple weeks. Both I and Jacob have been a little sick, under the weather, just at inopportune times when we're trying to run the show. We were here today. We're not going to talk about Chelsea. It's been too long, but we will talk about the Arsenal defeat yesterday. Pretty frustrating, but not unexpected. I think if we had had the chance to talk about Chelsea and about this Arsenal game, I would have said a 1-0 defeat in all honesty. So with the players we had missing, it wasn't that big of a surprise in all honesty. But we'll be talking about that a bit. I can't talk about that a bit. Just it was a game that didn't have a lot in it, so I doubt there'll be too much to dissect. But it'll be more about the narrative of the next four games, what it's going to look like for this team as we deal with Ndai being gone, deal with Gonagay being gone, deal with Dewsbury Hall being out of the team. So yeah, I will continue to wait for Jacob to get here. While we are waiting, I will talk a little bit about that game. I didn't get a chance to watch every moment of it. I watched it in pieces. I was working. But never really felt like I was missing anything, even when I stepped away. We were slow, laborious. Arsenal were very happy to give us possession, even though we only had 35 to their 65 throughout the course of the game. Anytime we had a bit of extended possession, we moved the ball around fairly well, but eventually the ball would make its way back to a Tarkovsky or Keane. It'd be a long ball forward. We lose it there, and then Arsenal break on us, keep possession for a while. Looks like he is getting back on. He is here, and he's back. Jacob. All right. So, Jacob, say hello to everybody.
Hey everyone, how are we doing? Sorry, my the technology, it defeats me again every time.
Technology, guys. It defeats us all, and as AI creeps further into our lives, soon we will be owned by it. Just a second before we continue on, just an appreciation, if you know what this is. Marriage, that's blessed arrangement, that
What brings
dween
us
for the twin.
together today?
Super blurry now, and this probably won't fix itself for like a
Awesome.
minute, so I'm just going to be blurry, but it's fine. So, Jacob, I was talking a bit about the defeat to Arsenal. Just touching on it. Did you get to watch the whole game?
Yeah, I did.
Cool. So then I'm going to let you talk about it a bit because I only got to watch it in pieces. I was working at the time, so it never really felt like I missed much. I'd probably watched it in 20, 25-minute intervals, so nothing much really seemed to happen throughout the game for Everton.
No, it was not a great watch, honestly, from just an objective soccer watching standpoint. We gave up a really bad penalty
Oh,
and a really horrible, awful penalty. And to be perfectly honest, thinking about the state of how the game went, I could not name two other things that actually happened the whole time. So, and I sat there and watched it for 90 minutes on Saturday in the middle of the day. And it was, yeah. And the weird part is we probably should have gotten a result if not for volleyball Jacob Ryan, which is just always something. I don't know.
yeah.
Oh, and
That
you're not
was that
blurry
was
anymore. Awesome.
yeah, I had to turn it off, turn it back on, real cool stuff. Yeah.
Man, it's
I
just one of
couldn't
those
believe
things.
I couldn't believe that penalty. I like it. I mean, breakdown in my mind, Jake O'Brien. We're all nervous in the corner already. We know Arsenal score from set pieces, and it's been a bit of a vulnerability for us at home, especially
Mm.
against Newcastle, Tottenham. And Jake O'Brien is like, crap, I'm not going to get to this ball. I think it was Calafiori is about to head this ball
Yep.
right into the corner of the net. He panicked
Yeah.
and just put his arms up just to affect play and hope to God
Yeah.
that it wouldn't get caught, even though we are in this day and age of cameras are everywhere and everything you do is going to get caught on that pitch. It was a pretty obvious decision. There's no argument about it. There was some talk of, oh, did he get pushed into the ball? Nope. It's
No,
very
he
obvious he
didn't.
puts his hands up to affect play. Gyökeres scores his penalty. Good penalty. Nothing Pickford really could do about it. He even guessed the right way.
No.
And just from that moment on, it never really felt like we were in the game much.
No, I mean, it didn't. It's just funny because, well, it was one goal lost in the end, and they don't score from open play. But man, you watch it, and they hit the second half. I think the second half they looked a lot better than they did in the first half. They hit the woodwork a couple times. I just I we're gonna miss Njai maybe even more than I anticipated.
Oh,
I think that well, Dwight McNeil and Carlos Alcaraz were really, really not great,
yeah.
which didn't help at all. But I think it's one of those things where you watch that game and then afterwards you say, if you're David Moyes, you have to say to yourself, is Dwight McNeil going to start against Burnley, or should we maybe start the kid that we paid $40 million for and just see how he goes? Because it's just bad. And Arsenal's really good, and Arsenal don't concede goals ever, and so that's probably should have been the most obvious nil to whatever defeat in Everton history. But surely we can't persist playing like that, because it was really bad. And
It
on
was,
a day when
yeah.
I don't even think Arsenal were at their best or even really close to it, it's
They didn't
comfortable
have to be.
second
They
gear
didn't have to
stuff.
be.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think it was a real frustrating watch. Again, I only watched it in bits and pieces. I never had confidence in Dwight McNeil doing anything starting. It was not. I did never thought he was going to turn some magic screw and
Yeah.
become, the player that we saw under Deitch for a season and a half. I just feel like his time at the club is up. I think we've talked about this before on the show and the substitute appearances he's made. He looks very undercooked. He doesn't look fit. It looks like he was never a fast guy to begin with, but it's looked like he's gotten even slower.
Yeah.
And I like, if we're gonna play the guy, he's got to play in the left. He can't, or a 10 at a stretch, and I'm still not great. He's so one-footed that if you like, I understand the concept of wanting to put him on the right and make him a sort of player who cuts inside and tries to do something, but he is so obviously one-footed that there is nowhere else he's going to go with it. So a defender is like, okay, like I know what you're about to do. You're not going to take this down my right side, so I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to shepherd you to where I want you to go on your left foot, and that's it. And it's very frustrating to see him. I understand that Tyler Dibling might not be ready. I understand that defensively, work ethic wise, determination wise, maybe even confidence wise, he's not where David Moyes wants him to be starting Premier League matches, especially against the top team in the league. But it's kind of the same deal with Tierno Barry and Beto at the beginning of the season. It's like, we paid the money for this guy, right? We already know what Beto can offer. We already know what Dwight McNeil can offer. So why are we persisting with players that we know can only offer a very limited capacity in this team right now? Attacking, defensively, work rate, athletic ability. They have a limit. They are at their limit. They're both in their late 20s. They're not going to improve. Now you have Tierno Barry, 23. You have Tyler Dibling, 19. Give them a chance. Back them. Say, look, you're the next 4 games: Burnley, Nottingham Forest, Brentford, Wolves. 4, in my opinion, Jacob. I don't know what you think. That's 4 wins. That has to be 4 wins. That should be 4 wins, and it probably won't be that way, but that should be 4 wins in a row, in my opinion. Those are 4 winnable games for this team. I understand we're missing Ndai. I understand we're missing Ghana. I understand we're missing Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah.
But those are winnable games.
I agree.
And if we're going to persist with starting Dwight McNeil in those games, to me, that might even seem that David Moyes didn't really have a plan for when Njai left, and that he is maybe feeling that pressure a little bit with these fixtures.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a good point, because we play we play Burnley, Forest, Brentford, and Wolves all between the 27th and the 7th. I mean, it's pretty thick run of games, and I personally think that we've talked about this before too with David Moyes, and we've also said that maybe he's learned his lesson from going back to the start of the season and maybe setting up against bigger, more powerful teams, in a turn of phrase, and not putting your best foot forward. And I think he kind of did that again on Saturday with Arsenal. And I think that's why Dwight McNeil started, because I think he looked his options and he said, okay, I could start Tyler Dibling, or I could start Dwight McNeil. And I think his rationale is, Dwight McNeil gives us a little something in defense, maybe, that Tyler Dibling wouldn't give us. It gives us a little more stability. And I don't even think I agree with that at this point, to be perfectly honest with you, but I think that's probably the rationale. But I also think that, Burnley on Saturday is the most obvious Tyler Dibbling start of all time.
Has to be. I mean, it has to be.
And then we see, and I think he's going to start at least one more of those games, Brentford, Wolves, whatever. Forced away is the only one where I kind of don't think we're going to win. I don't think we should lose. I don't know if we're going to win. It's a tough game. I mean, a tough place to play. Dyche has got them, we pretty comfortable fixture, but on the road, it's a tough spot. But yeah, I mean, I think Tyler Dibbling.
Brentford will be tough too. In my opinion.
I think, yeah, Brentford nothing to sneeze at. Wolves are obviously really bad, but we've seen Wolves beat us already, so
they've already beat exactly. Hey. All right, let's back to Tyler Dibbling. This is
I think Tyler Dibbling,
but it's Everton, right?
I thought he was pretty decent in the 15 minutes he played against Arsenal. I don't think he was horrible. I mean, he wasn't going to come out and set the world on fire.
He at least has, again, it's coming down to, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Whatever, it'll fix itself eventually. It comes down to me, it comes down to a question of determination and athletic ability. What is this player going to offer us in the now, and what is he here for? Is he here for the future? Yeah, he's here for the future. He's here to play. He's here. He's a young kid who came into this team and now deserves the hand around his shoulder. He deserves the backing from his manager and the confidence. And look at that, it fixed itself. To play, go out there and play, and to express himself. Because I think when he came on against Chelsea, I thought he looked really good. He linked up really well with Ndiaye. He just sat there, was a linchpin to move things around. Things just moved through him, and he anchored that ball. He didn't have to run with it very often. What's going to happen is in these games against Burnley and these games against Brentford and Forest and Wolves, if he starts, he's going to get a decent amount of possession of that ball. He's going to get many opportunities to run at players, and it's going to be a chance for him. You want him going to those games full flow, full confidence, Zen state, ready to play, ready to express himself, because that's when he's going to be at his best. As a young player, I feel like you need the freedom to be a bit arrogant and to make some mistakes, because then you're going to learn from those mistakes, right? You need the opportunities to get into these games and play. When you're not playing, it gets into your mind. Okay, I just came from Southampton to Everton for a lot of money, and I'm not playing. I can't get a sniff. I'm getting 5 minutes here and there. So, am I doing something wrong? By all accounts, the guy's already a quiet kid, but that doesn't matter. Tierno Barry was quiet, and he's starting to come out of his shell now. You need to give Tyler Dibbling the chance to come out of his shell and play. He needs to start. We can sit here and say, oh, he was mismanaged throughout the season. He should have played a lot more. I think David Moyes has some really lofty ambitions for this season. In all honesty, I think maybe even we don't know the ambitions that David Moyes might even think we could get into a Champions League spot, and is like, I have to play my best team at all times and keep them on the pitch at all times. And if I rotate at all, it's going to jeopardize our opportunity to get Champions League football that might not be there next year.
Yeah,
I get it. But in my opinion, the squad's not there. In my opinion, he has another year on his contract. Get these young players in, bed them in, get them playing, and then next year, now Tyler Dibbling's ready to contribute 5 goals, 5 assists, 5 goals, 7 assists, 10 goals even. Who knows? Tierno Barry's ready to be a striker that can lead a Premier League line. Now we've added 2 or 3 more pieces to this puzzle. Dewsbury Halls is fit and back playing. We signed Grealish on a permanent. I don't know, a loan again. It doesn't matter. The time has come for Tyler Dibbling. The time has come for change. The time has come, if we really want to have some ambition about the rest of this season, to take some risks and take some opportunities and take some chances, because we have to. There's nothing else. There's nothing to lose. We're not gonna get relegated. We might make European football, and if we don't, nobody's going to complain if we don't make European football, because I think 90% of Evertonians feel like this squad is not ready for European football. And 2 more windows, January and summer, is probably not going to make the squad big enough and deep enough to be able to have any sort of good deep run in a European competition. It'd be good to have the pedigree and have the experience again, but it's time. It's time. It's a project. Trust the process.
I agree with you on a lot of that. I will say, I think that for David Moyes specifically, right? Speaking to how deep does the squad need to be? How much quality do you have to go far and be good in Europe? I mean, ask David Moyes about winning the Conference League with West Ham, and he'll look at our squad and say, this is one good window away. This is 2 players away. And, it's hard for me to even necessarily argue with that when you look at that West Ham squad that won the Conference League. It was a good team. It was a deep team, but
yeah, I was about to looking at it now.
if you put Everton in the Conference League right now, right? I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going to say Everton are going to win the Conference League, but it's not going to be an Apollon Limassol group death thing that happened in the Europa League under Koeman. I mean,
True.
and and I think his, speaking on his contract, I think maybe that his sort of advanced expectations and sort of sped up timeline. I think it's because he has a deep personal connection with the club, and
Mm.
I think he realizes that next year's probably it. And if it's not it, just at Everton, maybe for his career, he's getting
True.
on in age,
It's true.
and so I think
Mm.
he's feeling it on his neck. Like, I mean, how could I waste this year when I feel like we're right there? Like, push, 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 because who knows what happens next year? And I mean, everybody expects us to be better next year. But I mean, if he feels like we're there, Everton can win the conference. I don't disagree. I don't think that's a horrible shout.
Oh,
If the squad stayed healthy, if Jared
right. Sure.
Branthwaite and Dewsbury Hall comes back in the squad mid-January, we sign one fullback in January. This team could compete for the Conference
Two
League.
fullbacks. Nah, I wasn't.
This
And
team
recall
could compete for the
Harrison
Conference
Armstrong.
League.
And recall Harrison Armstrong. I think we need to do that.
Yeah, no, I really just don't even think that's a super insane thing to say. I don't think the Conference League is a fantastic competition at all. I think Everton can compete in that competition. But anyway, I'm trying to circle back to the Tyler Dibbling thing. Where I was trying to get was, I think that it's so hard for like a club like Everton, because you see Tyler Dibbling, he's 19, he's really talented, obviously, and I think that like we're so skewed from like we all have like Manchester City FIFA career mode brain with like these 19-year-old like phenom kids, because Manchester City, and like even God forbid like Liverpool and Arsenal and Real Madrid, whatever, they have the luxury of being able to play these kids 10-15 games a season through cups and through
Right, because they play 60 games a season, right?
Right, and when they play Burnley and they beat them 7-0, and it's just nothing for them. But like Everton, like even when we play Burnley or we play Wolves in the Cup, look what happened when we played Wolves in the Cup and we rotated. This team with 2 points just beat the crap out of us, and that I think is another reason like he's just not playing, is because David Moyes saw that and it like traumatized him a little bit. Probably he was like, we can't do that again.
I get it. I
get it too,
yeah.
but I also agree with you that he needs to play, and it's time for him to play. It's time.
It has to be. I mean, I would be really, really disappointed in David Moyes if Tyler Dibbling didn't start, regardless of whether Dwight McNeil starts. It doesn't matter. If Tyler Dibbling didn't start against Burnley, I'd be very, very disappointed.
And I agree.
At the end of the day, it's David Moyes' world, and we're just subject to it and watching it on the weekends. Yeah. So just a little more touch on the Arsenal game. I just pulled some stats. I mean, I pulled some stats for every game just for us to reference. Arsenal outplayed us in everything, guys. They outplayed us in everything. And I know like, oh, it's just a 1-0 defeat. Honestly, Arsenal should have scored like 3, maybe 4. I mean, Trossard hit the post. He should have scored. I think Saka had a really good chance. I mean, they had their chances, honestly. Like it was a game that was bound to happen with Njai gone, with Dewsbury Hall out, that we were hoping for a smash and grab 1-0 and trying to harness up the energy of Hill Dickinson. And if it wasn't for that penalty moment, we might have done it. Who knows? If that game goes to the 60th, 70th minute, 0-0, totally different game. Because we conceded so early, it played right into Arsenal's hands. It is what it is. We move on.
We had a penalty also. We haven't said.
So I haven't seen that moment. Can you tell me a little bit about what happened? You really think it was a penalty?
I do, and I think it's a soft penalty, but it's a penalty. They've called it this way all year. So Barry's in the box, and the ball's coming down, and the defender behind him swings his leg at the ball, and he kicks Barry in the back of the leg. Not hard, but he kicks him in the back of the leg while Barry's going to control the ball. He doesn't have the ball yet. The ball's still in the air, and I think that's why it's not a penalty. But that is a penalty. It's a foul everywhere else on the pitch. The only reason it's not a penalty is because Everton, and there's a little bit of a soft contact. I hate being that guy, but if it's not Everton and it's somebody else in red or maybe light blue, or Arsenal get Arsenal gets that at the other end every single time. Absolutely. Yep. Yes.
Yeah, I think I've seen a little bit. I haven't seen the full incident in full motion and seen it all through. But I think what I saw was it looked like the contact happened, and maybe Barry took an extra half a second to go down.
Yeah,
And
It's
I
a
think
soft touch, and he doesn't react right away.
if he had reacted right away, maybe it becomes okay. Well, this was an actual thing that happened. Otherwise, I think it's well, he's just trying to buy it. I think that would seem like the pervasive mindset behind why they didn't make that decision.
What
But
really
again,
bugs me is they don't even go to the monitor though.
yeah, well, it's because the people in the VAR room are saying it wasn't a clear and obvious error, so you
Silly.
don't need to go and look at it. This is
Yeah.
VAR and what football is now.
Yeah.
So let's touch on this. Do you think? No, let's rephrase this. How far away from being a top six side do you think we are?
Top six.
Top six,
Um, when you
like
say how far
player
away,
count, talent, like
player count, talent. I mean,
squad depth, manager, even. Do you
I
think
think
David Moyes can take us there?
yes, I think David Moyes is a top six manager, has the
Hmm.
ability to be. So, I think that's totally fine. I think if you look at the squad, I think it's probably I would say four in the starting 11, two fullbacks, a midfielder, and two midfielders. Honestly, two in the midfield, two on the back line, and then I think you probably need.
Striker still.
Yeah, still need a striker. I'm really counting on Tierno Barry, but and then I would say, I mean, Harrison Armstrong back on the bench next year, and Branthwaite comes back, and so that helps depth. But probably two or three more, good rotation players. I'm not so sure about Merlin Roll, honestly.
He's just not had a chance to have any consistent game time.
Yeah,
Is the issue, bro. He's been hurt. He's been playing
yeah,
on and off. So every time he's come on, he's looked rusty. Every time it was kind of to be honest, was how I felt Carlos Alcaraz looked when he was coming on in
right.
bits and pieces. But he's actually, it looks like, I don't know what's happened with him. I mean, I was never a big fan of his first touch, and I think that's a big part of his game that is really lacking. I think
Yeah,
he's really nice with the ball at times, and I don't think he's very positionally aware.
yeah,
I don't think he's much of a 10, honestly. I really see him as like more of an 8, as
I agree.
playing in like a deeper midfield 3, because I think he's the kind of player that can just attack space really well. And as a 10, you don't have a lot of space to attack very often.
No,
Very often, you're trying to find those pockets of space like Dewsbury Hall does to receive the ball and turn quickly. It's not, I'm taking this ball and running into space like an 8 would. I always thought of Carlos Alcaraz as this fantastic away game counter-attacking midfielder who's going
yeah,
to sit deep and affect play and break up play as much as he can. And then when the opportunity comes, he's going to run like hell into that space and make those chances happen. But that hasn't
yeah.
seemed to happen for him so far.
Yeah, no, he's kind of one of those. It feels like he's one of those jackhammer kind of players where it's not necessarily going to be a crazy moment of quality, but he's going to be a
Yeah.
guy. He's just going to run the whole time.
Work ethic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I think probably just sheer numbers, probably 6 or 7 guys away.
Yeah.
And I mean, that sounds
Decent
bad,
amount.
but it's not. It's not that bad. It's really just not that bad. I think 1 or 2 in January and one more summer window, and I think we're there. I really do.
So you're saying Pickford's good. You're looking at
Pickford's good.
Branthwaite
Branthwaite.
and O'Brien for the future, right? If we're looking at what the center back pairing is, hopefully looking like as Branthwaite and O'Brien.
Yeah, I agree with that.
At some point in the near future, you want to take James Garner out of midfield?
Yeah.
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 We should put him at right. Is that to go at right back, or is that to move down the pecking order and get out of the starting 11?
Bench.
Okay. Dewsbury Hall
Or
stays.
sell him.
Or
Dewsbury
sell.
Hall stays.
Dewsbury Hall stays in the 8. He stays in that center
Yes.
midfield, in my opinion.
Love that.
And I wanted to, while we're just mentioning that, when I was thinking back to that Chelsea game and when Moy pushed Dewsbury Hall back into the 10 and brought in a Gay, I thought that was such a very amateur. I don't want to call it either. I thought it was a bad decision. It was bad.
I agree.
I understand he wanted to get Gay back in for one game, but that midfield was really clicking. There was some fluidity to happen there, man. It was really becoming something that was exciting to watch.
That didn't work.
And break it up and bring back. And you watched Chelsea game. You saw Ghana, man. Like I rewatched that game. He was strolling around that field, man. He shouldn't have started, regardless.
Agreed.
So Dewsbury Hall at the 8. So you're saying get in a 10, which I think is perfectly. I think that's very fair that we need a 10.
Yep.
And then you're thinking that's it, really. So 2 fullbacks, 2 midfield, and then you think an attacking player, because I don't think we'll sign Grealish permanently.
You really don't think so?
I really don't think we should, honestly.
Whether we should or not, I would be at this point with the rumors going around. I think we offer them 25 or 30 and they take it, I'm pretty
I just don't
sure
think
that
I
he's
don't think there's
back.
a point. I don't think there's a point in doing it, honestly, unless we've got a real plan for him. I mean, I understand the attacking depth. I understand that he's a personality and he's a good guy to have around, and he helps keep the team closely knit. If that's the way we look at it, okay. But I look at a guy who's now what he's 30, 31 years old now. Uh, he's playing a lot of games and he's playing as much of those games as possible. He hasn't really been hurt at all this season.
No.
So he's got a good amount of natural fitness and a good amount of stamina to last in these games. I worry a little bit of longevity at that number. He's still a great talent, and if we can get a good attacking fullback and a couple more pieces around him, who knows? Especially if we're making a European run, you'd love a player like Jack Grealish. So
Right. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, right? Let me
talk to
ask
me.
you this. For that money, right? Say it ends up being 25, 30 million, which everybody's saying it's going to be, right? For that money, a guy with that level of experience in Europe, a guy with that level of experience winning trophies, a guy that seemingly really likes to be around, who likes the club, who likes the fans, who likes the players in the team. For if they say $25 million, have him, right? We can go sign somebody else. He doesn't have to start every game. Are you sure? Are you sure that we could take that $25 million and 6 out of 10 times sign a guy that's better than Jack Grealish? Because I'm not.
No, I'm not. No, I actually wanted to touch on our recruitment a little bit too today, but okay. Well, we're talking. We'll get into it shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's a really good point. I see that.
And I
I
see where
just
you're coming from too.
yeah.
I do.
I feel like this Everton team for so long has been the team of ex superstars. Is the team of taking away
Yes.
castaway. I mean, for a long time, even in David Moyes' first tenure, it was picking up castaways from Man United, from Chelsea, from Barcelona when we signed Luka Dean and Yerry Mina and Andre Gomez all in one window. It was picking up these players that couldn't quite make it at these top clubs and bringing them to Everton to
Right.
revitalize their career and get them going again. There's a gentleman on the Blue Room podcast, I can't remember who it is. I think I can't remember honestly, who said that who's like, oh, he always talks about players end up at Everton for a reason.
Right.
That players end up at Everton for a reason because they're not good enough to make it at a better club. I really hate that statement. I understand the truth behind it. I understand that our recruitment's been a mess for a long time, but I really hate that statement because it's really like self-defeating for this club. It's like, oh, well, every player that comes in is shit. It's like, come on, like we already deal with the animosity from the crowd at times, and especially on social media enough. Why are we going to
Well, I
pour?
just don't think that's true either.
Yeah, it's. I agree, honestly. Like it's like a mindset of making your club smaller than it actually
Mm-hmm.
is by talking like that about it. It's the same thing you would apply to talking about yourself in life and complaining about yourself and talking negatively about yourself. You talk negatively about your club, that is a mindset that leaks into the other fans around you, that leaks into the people that listen to your podcast, the people that go and watch a game.
Yeah.
What you don't need that negativity floating around. But regardless, our recruitment hasn't been good. And it's not. It really has. I mean, a lot of that is because for years it was Farhad Mashiri calling the shots at everything, come hell or high water, not letting the people he hired do their job.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were at a financial mess. We had players that weren't playing, like Sandro. Jesus, who else? There's too many now that I'm thinking about it, honestly.
Oh, dude, we could have a whole show. We would no other conversation topics. Just say names for an hour.
The castaways from the Mashiri era. Just so many players that we signed for these big wages that just didn't work out, and then we couldn't get rid of for forever until their contracts ran out, or we just got lucky.
Yep.
I worry that's where my mindset goes with Jack Grealish. Is like, I'd imagine that he'd be willing to take a wage cut to sign for us permanently. He'd have to. What is he's up what on like $350K right now?
Yeah.
He'd have to drop to probably like 150. Which is he willing to do that? Does he? I don't know. Want to go somewhere?
Does he have
else?
a choice?
I mean, when is his contract up at City? How much longer does he have? Because he could just say, "Well, I'm just going to stay at City and go on loan somewhere else, and I'll still make my money."
Jack Grealish's contract ends 2027, so he's got one more year.
One more year. So.
One more year on loan?
And one more year on his contract, too, honestly. I mean, 25 million even for that is too much. To me, I'm saying 10, 15. I understand they paid a lot of money for him. It's his last year of his contract. I don't know. 25 million seems like
Well,
it's a
he probably signs a new deal, a 2 or 3 year deal in an understanding there, right?
what
Surely
at City?
at Everton.
Yeah.
If we pay him 25, we're not paying him 25 without a sure understanding that he's signing a new deal. Right?
Yeah. What? Why wouldn't he would sign a contract at Everton if we signed him? What am I missing here?
Well, you were saying with a year left on his contract at City,
Yeah.
we don't want to pay 25, but
I mean, so we would sign him permanently if there's only a year left, rather
yeah.
than like if then like City might lose him on a free. We'd be like, well, look, man, like you either we'll give you 15 million now, and then you don't lose him for nothing in a year, or you lose him for nothing in a year. So
Okay. I see what you're saying
the
now, yeah.
leverage is there in our court because now Grealish doesn't want to be at City. City aren't going to play him. Guardiola doesn't have him in his plans, and he's got a year left on his contract. They either let him rot and let those wages rot, huge wages rot on their bench and go on loan, whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe another club's willing to pay it. Maybe we're willing to pay it and then sign him.
Right.
Or they say, okay, we'll take the 15 million now, the 20 million now. I mean, 20 even isn't a crazy number for me either. 25, 30 is like, ooh, it's a little much, but we're all over the place right now talking about Jack Grealish. I'm writing down positions on here, like what we need. Has there been? Let me ask you: do you watch a lot of other Premier League games?
Yeah.
Are there any players that you've looked at this season and been like, man, I'd really like to see them at Everton?
This is just such an American, just rotted brain answer. But
Tyler
every time,
Adams.
yes, I'm sorry, it's just Tyler Adams. It really just, I would give anything for Everton to sign Tyler Adams. I think he would be so good at Everton, and I think the fans would love him so much.
Sure.
But I mean, okay, let's outside of obvious boomer baby Tyler Adams take, right? Like, oh.
So there's a fella that plays at Leeds, Anton Stack. I like him a lot. I like him a lot, bro. I like that guy a lot. I mean, he's like a midfielder, sort of 10 role. He reminds me quite a bit of Kieran Dewsbury Hall, but I like Anton Stack a lot, man. Every time I've seen him play for Leeds, and actually now that we're getting on the subject of Leeds, let's talk DCL.
Oh no.
Yeah, we've got to because look, he scored 2 yesterday. He scored the week before. He scored against Chelsea. He's scored like seven goals this season already, I think, for Leeds.
Yeah.
Jacob, did we make a mistake letting him go, Jacob?
No.
No?
Ooh. No.
Okay.
No, we didn't.
No? Okay.
No, we didn't. He would have 1 goal right now if he played for Everton.
Yeah.
And listen,
yeah,
And listen, I think Calvert-Lewin's so overhated in our fan base. Like, let's be so real with you for a second. I was his biggest supporter, like biggest ride or die for years. And honestly, a lot of times I don't think he really deserved that level of support. But at the end, man, it got so bad. It was so toxic. He wouldn't sign a new deal. His wife was on social media, like just making it just a mockery out of the. It was bad,
making it worse, yeah.
And it was just never coming. There was never going to be a point, and I think he probably realized that, and that's why he didn't sign a contract. I just don't think there was ever going to be a reconciliation between him and the supporters and the club to where it would be fun again. And like we can appreciate him for his, good moments, and he had a lot of them. And also, I really just think he's just okay. I think that's why he ended up going to Leeds. If he was that, if he was that good, he wouldn't have gone to Leeds. And that's a very redundant and simple way to put it, but I think he thought that he would leave and go somewhere bigger than
Newcastle
Everton.
or
no chance.
Manchester
United, Newcastle, it's just no chance. And I like him, dude. I think he's good, and I think he'll score 10 goals for them, and it's fine. Whatever.
He's going to get 3 more goals. I think he'll score 15. But regardless,
if he scores 15 goals, dude, I will come on this podcast.
He's almost halfway there.
Dude, there's no chance he scores 15.
He will.
He had 1 goal through 10 games. No chance.
Yeah, and now he's in a purple patch, and he'll I bet he has 10 before the year's out. No, that's a stretch. No, he'll have 10 before January is over.
No way.
Regardless, chill out. I'm going to be straight with you just for the sole purpose that we, one player scoring goals and the other 2 aren't. I do think we made a bit of a mistake with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And I will say that because I just think Leeds were sniffing around Beto apparently already. Like, why didn't we just
Yeah,
like play our hand and be like, here's Beto for 20 million. Dom, here's the extra bit of money you made. Now's the chance. It's you and this young kid we brought in, and now you guys can play. And it's like, okay, now we've got to. I don't know. I
I think
agree.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree about the toxicity between the fans. I think that the fans never quite really took to Calvert-Lewin because he missed some chances as a striker is going to do. I mean, the guy
yeah,
dealt with injuries, like constant injuries that were just sucked. I sucked. I love to
yeah.
see Dominic Calvert-Lewin play. I really enjoy Dominic Calvert-Lewin as a player. I think he's fast, he's strong. I've seen him at Everton for a very long time. I saw him when he was playing fucking wingback for Ronald Koeman.
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
like I've watched the progress of Dominic Calvert-Lewin from this gangly teenager coming from what was it, Barnsley, to the
Sheffield
striker
United.
Sheffield United. Thank you, to the striker that he is now.
Yep.
And it's was awesome. I love seeing because he felt like an academy product. He felt like one of us. He felt like an Evertonian because he'd been at the club so long and so ingrained in the culture of the club.
Yeah.
And it really hurt and stunk to see him not sign a new contract, to see that relationship between him and the club and the fans deteriorate so much. We all have a part to play in that. And again, like I think he's a good striker on his day, and when he's healthy, his day seems to come about more often than not. I mean, you think when Moyes first came in, that first game against Tottenham, Dominic Calvert-Lewin scores first goal. It's a fantastic goal. He gets hurt. The next game and never gets a chance to really. Who knows? He could have had 10 more goals if he played consistently through the second half of last season. So
Yeah.
it's in my mind, I think that situation was tough to manage. You could even claim that it was a little mismanaged. Maybe there should have been more of a push to keep him, even and be like, well, look, if somebody's actually sniffing around Beto, or just send him on loan to Roma, like whatever. I don't know.
Right. You know what? I'll say just one more thing on Calvert-Lewin. I think the only thing Everton really did wrong with Calvert-Lewin, I wouldn't even say letting him not sign a new contract was necessarily just like the end of the world or whatever. I think the biggest mistake that Everton made was not selling him for $60 million when they had the chance. There was a moment in time after that Ancelotti season where I think that we could have went out in the market and got 60, 70 million for him, and he was never worth half that. And everybody was like, no, no, no. And then Ancelotti walked and went to Madrid, and everybody freaked out, and any chance that had of happening disappeared. And I think that is Rafa Benitez comes and ruins everything, and we all know that story. But I'm telling you,
break my camera.
The only mistake we made is not selling when we should have, and then letting it get to a point where he walks for free. That should never happen. For an English national that has he's
one of our top Premier League scorers. He's one of our top Premier League scorers. It's like second or third.
He should never be walking for nothing, and that's just so an Everton financial thing to do, Yep. But anyway,
that was one of the messes that the Freakins walked into, I think, and probably was one of the things that gave them a bit of headaches too. Is like, we're going to lose this guy for nothing. He's a valuable asset, and he's going to walk. He will not sign a new contract. I'm sure that made them very frustrated too. But
anyway, let me answer your question from 20 minutes ago.
Yeah,
I'll give you two names. What players from other teams, right?
Yeah, I know.
I finally thought it too. Is Malik Diouf from West Ham?
Yes, from West Ham. Oh, bro,
fantastic.
I think if. Oh, okay, continue. Yes, yeah.
And then Hwang Hee-chan from Wolves. I still really like him. I like him a lot. I think he's good. I don't think people agree with me anymore. I think Wolves are really bad. Wolves suck. Yeah. I think he's good.
It's not his fault, bro. I mean, I feel
like every time I watch him play, he looks good. I don't know. He's not scoring goals either. So
well, none of them are at Wolves, honestly, man. I mean, that Wolves side.
When they get relegated and you can get him for like $2, why not? $2. It's better than having Mark Travers and Reece Campbell on the bench, dude. Can we go?
Mark Travers is going to get on the bench anyways. You don't want Tom King on the bench.
Dude, I mean, go get Strand Larson from Wolves. He just missed a penalty. His value just went down $20 million. Go get him for free. Who cares?
Hell no.
West Ham, go get Callum Wilson when they get relegated.
I can't think of a single Wolves player I would sign. They have a midfielder I think's okay, but other than that, I can't think of a single Wolves player I would
They do
sign.
have that one midfielder that's decent. Yeah.
Arthur Gomez, Andre Gomez. I don't know.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the Juve. I mean, so looking at West Ham, they're in 18th right now. They're 5 points off safety. They're looking real rough. I
They're
like
going
that
down.
Juve a lot too. I wouldn't mind seeing West Ham go down. In all honesty, I've never had that much
No,
affection for West Ham. You know, it's nothing.
I don't
They're
like
one.
them actually.
Yeah, they're one of those teams that like they really like to challenge Everton, like as like this. Oh, we're the same kind of club as you, and it's like, man, look, like I understand we haven't
Never.
won anything in a long time. I understand, 30-plus year trophy drought. I totally get it. But even though we've had a 30-plus year trophy drought, we're still 10 times bigger than you. I know
We
there's
could
plenty of
never
West
win
Ham
anything
fans.
again and still be bigger than West Ham forever.
All right, so enough about West Ham. I did not mean to open that box of tricks. Yes, Juve, I think would be I think he'd be the perfect left back for us because he's young too. He's so strong, so much room to learn, bro. He would be awesome. He got Leighton
They've got
Baines there to learn
several
from
players
too.
that are really good too. They got the Magasa guy that plays in midfield. He's awesome. If
Yeah,
they go
their
down, at least they should
squad,
be the first call.
their squad is way too good, honestly. Who's their manager? Is it who is it?
Nuno.
Is it Nuno again? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's not
Yikes.
going great.
Oh, that's their fault. Um, alrighty.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about the next 4 games real quick. We obviously have kind of both said that we expect you think we'll lose to Forest. It'll be a tougher game.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally see us losing that again. This is, I'm kind of still holding on to a little bit of hope that Kieran Dewsbury-Hall is actually just out for the Arsenal game. Is going to be back soon. There's still David Moyes hasn't said any time frame, and in my mind, I think he's done that on purpose to basically say like to not let because I think he kind of just walked the chalk on Arsenal and Chelsea. He was like, look, if we can get something from the games, that's great, but we already know that the squad's going to be tight. Let's just let them be what they are and let these next 4 games be a much more determining factor in what we can do, through the second half of the season. And in his mind, he's playing some long range. In my mind, he's playing some long range mind games with that by saying, okay, no timeline for Dewsbury Hall. We don't know when he's going to be back, man. And you even saw Dewsbury Hall, just a blip. See you guys soon. I don't know. I think he's back for Burnley. I think I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Hopefully I'm not, but that'd be awesome. If he's back for Burnley, we win that 3-0, 4-0. Because I think Burnley are a really poor side as well.
Yes.
Yes. They always are just this incredible yo-yo club, man. It is actually kind of incredible how they exist. And it's more incredible the gap in talent between the championship and the Premier League is that extensive that the team, because Burnley won the championship last year, didn't they? Did they win it? I can't remember. They were right. I don't think they qualified from the playoff, but they were first or second last year, and they go into the Premier League next year, and it's just nothing. Can't do anything. Yeah. We're every game we're screwed. It is, and it's just incredible. It's incredible that the way that gap is so significant, and it's incredible that Burnley have like bridged that gap so successfully year after year after year. Sean Dyche, Scott Parker now. So yeah. 4 wins. You think we lose against Forest?
I think it's possible we lose against Forest. Honestly, if I was a gambling man, I'd say 10 points optimistically. I would like 10.
Yeah, 10 would be 10. Undefeated over those next 4 games would be, I think, is really important. I think 4 wins is dream territory. 10 points, 3 wins and a draw is just as very acceptable. I think losing any of those games is really tough. I really don't think we should lose any of them, but if we do, it's Everton, it's still not the completed team. Looking ahead to January, do you think we should recall Harrison Armstrong? Because we've talked about this a little bit before.
Yeah.
And my opinion has changed. I if I'll just be straightforward, I do think we should recall him. Mostly because if this is going to be a January window where we are only able to sign 1 player and it is not a right back, then I'd like to see James Garner continue to play right back for the second half of the season. Yeah. Because O'Brien's race there is run. We don't need to expand on that topic anymore because we already know his race there is run. We need to find a solution and getting him out of that position and getting him into center back or just getting him out of right back and getting something a bit more natural there. If we're not going to sign a right back in January, bring back Harrison Armstrong, get him into the midfield rotation, as it is right now with and Dewsbury Hall, Eric Boone, even if it means because hopefully Dewsbury Hall goes back and that is Eric Boonham and Dewsbury Hall in the midfield, Alcaraz at the 10, I guess. I don't think we've seen Eric Boonham and Dewsbury Hall really play together yet, as for, like in terms of that, in terms of a midfield two rather than Dewsbury Hall at the 10.
Right.
But just it really, I think, is very important that we get O'Brien out of that right back spot because it is such obviously both our fullback areas are points of weakness, but the right back, but he almost looks more uncomfortable there every week.
Yeah, I agree, and I think like we were talking about earlier, if he's going to be the center back for the next couple of years, we probably want to get him back in that mindset anyway.
Get him there, get him to his best position. I don't know if you feel this same way. I think Michael Keane struggled against Chelsea and against Arsenal. I don't think he had a lot to do against Arsenal because I don't know. I just noticed some things, especially against Chelsea. I think João Pedro had him on toast quite a few times in terms of winning some aerial battles and just controlling Michael Keane with his body. João Pedro is a fantastic player. I mean, he's going to do that to a lot of defenders, but I don't know. I just really want to see Jake O'Brien getting the center back because literally the one match he played there, he was man of the match, and I don't know. I think it's quite telling that he goes there and puts in against Bournemouth, puts in a fantastic performance. I think that's quite telling and tells you that he probably wants to continue playing there. And if we want to see the best of him, he needs to be in that position.
Let me ask you: does Tarkowski's contract run at the end of this year or at the end of next year?
Next year, I think.
Next year. Because honestly, right now, if I'm picking, I'm taking Michael Keane
over Tarkowski. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I get that. I think,
that's for the bench pretty much at that point,
right? I mean, but in my mind, I don't think David Moyes drops Tarkowski, so that's why I don't even entertain it in my head because I think he's going to drop Michael Keane 95% of the time before he drops Tarkowski, just because Tarkowski's the captain. He's the captain.
And he might his level I think also is going to come up quite a bit when Braithwaite comes back. So
everybody's, the whole team's will. It's going to be fantastic because now there's more trust at the back. Mikalenko's level is going to raise because now he has a center back who's going to communicate and be there talking with him and is much better. I think Michael Keane's decent with the ball at his feet, but Braithwaite is something else. He's a fantastic player with the ball at his feet, very smart, and he's so two-footed. It's almost unbelievable. It's for a center back. He is so two-footed. It's incredible.
And not to get too far away from the Harrison Armstrong thing because
yes, we did.
I was
squat depth.
Yeah, I was really against it, and I still just even with how we are right now. I think it's really hard to justify bringing back an 18-year-old that's starting almost every game in the championship to what is going to happen is he's going to sit on the bench and play 5-10 minutes a game for the rest of the season. And then
you think?
Yes, there's no way he starts more than 3 or 4 games. And whether you agree with that or not, I think that's just the truth with how David Moyes manages. And I think at the end of the season, you look at him and you say, well, is that worth it? If we finish 8th or 9th. I mean, I think Braithwaite comes back and this team really does have an outside shot at getting Europe. But if we don't and we finish, mid-table or whatever, and we cost him 2,000 minutes of game time at 18, why? What's the point? And who's he starting over also? I mean, when that midfield, when everybody's healthy, there's Dewsbury Hall, Idrissa Gueye, Eric Boonham. I mean, a month ago, I would have said over Eric Boonham.
Yeah. I mean, so here, let me write down the midfield. Honestly, let me just tell you, I think he should start over Ganagué. I think while Ganagué is gone, having the ability. Yeah, look at that face. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Big shout. That's a big shout.
No, I mean, I'm not saying he should start right away, but I think the idea is in my mind is phasing Ganagué out of this team because I think it needs to happen. I think it's again, you look at the fluidity that the midfield was creating when you had Dewsbury Hall at the 8, when Ganagué was out of the team. I mean, the team just passed better. It played better. I could go back and look at the passing percentages, and I should do that. But that's an important part of transitioning as a team is that. Yes, Ganagué is a fantastic disruptor of play. He wins the ball back. He intercepts. He's a smart player. He's got a lot of experience. But his weakest points are when he's got the ball at his feet. Is when he's doing things with the ball. And you just can't have, in my opinion, a midfield player who can't deal with the ball at their feet. I understand wanting to have an enforcer, but you got to have an enforcer who it's the silk and steel thing, man. You got to have a little bit of both. You can't like the day and age where you can have a midfielder who doesn't need to be technically proficient is gone, in my opinion, and you need to have technically proficient midfielders who can also battle. And
I agree with that.
I don't think Ganagay is that, unfortunately. But I do just want the opportunity, the option to have Garner move. I guess with Merlin roll back, it makes it a bit less pertinent to bring back an Harrison Armstrong, because now you at least have another midfield option to rotate in, and it's not just this Eric Boonham Garner two-headed midfield for the remainder of AFCON.
Right.
But I want to get Garner back to that right back, and so I'm blurry again. So I guess I'm cursed. But
well, I think looking at it that way, I think that's probably the best argument you can make for recalling him from his loan is you want James Garner back at right back. I mean, that's as good of an argument as any. I mean, I agree with you, Idrissa Gueye. I've just always thought of it as, he's going to be the guy this year, and then next year is probably not.
It's true. Yeah.
Whether they think Harrison Armstrong's ready next year at 19 or not, we'll see. But
well, did you have a player of the match for Arsenal?
Man, I mean, oh God, do I?
I don't think anybody really stood out.
No, I mean, I think it was pretty bland all over. I think Pickford was okay. I think he did okay. I think Tarkowski had a decent game. I think there wasn't anything that I remember being like, oh God, not again.
Sure. Yeah, I'd say Tarkowski, Keane.
I wouldn't highlight any of the midfield or any of the attack.
I thought Eric Boonham played decent. But again,
he was all right.
It's he played decent against a very, very tough. I don't think our midfield was the issue personally.
No,
I think we
just
were very blunt. We were very blunt in attack. We just did not have anything going forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Eric Boonham for me again, but that's a 6.5 versus a 6.4. It's everybody was pretty blasé. All right.
On FootMob. Sorry, just one more on that. Michael Keane and Tarkowski 8 and 7.9, and Garner came in with a 7.7. Miko 7.9. I think that seems really high.
You'd have to look into what those. Let's see. Actually, let me look at that. Do they give you like the what's it called? The like the reasoning behind those ratings?
No, you click and they give you pretty detailed stats, but they don't say, what's what on the surface.
84%. So looking at Mikolenko 7.9, 84% passing accuracy.
Yeah.
He had 1 fantasy point, 5 defensive contributions, 42 touches, 50, 1 successful dribble, 2 accurate long balls, 6 passes in the final third, 2 last man tackles is probably why, 5 recoveries, got dribbled past twice, and he won 100% of his aerial duels. Well, I don't know. I suppose in a game where not a lot happened, it's pretty easy to make defender. Other than Jacob Ryan had an awful game apparently.
Yes, Jacob Ryan was not good.
Yeah, Grealish, Alcaraz, McNeil, Barry. Yikes, tough.
It was bad all over.
Yeah, Pickford had a 6.2.
That surprises me.
Well, let's get to our Q&A. It's getting late, and I need to stop talking because I want to drink some water. So our first question: what are the elite Christmas films? You get to choose 2. Choose 2 films. We don't got time for more than 2.
2 films: Tim Allen's Santa Claus and Home Alone 2.
Okay. Christmas Story.
I like it.
And that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer claymation. No, it's not the Rudolph. The one with the Ice Meister and the
Jack Frost, whatever.
Any of those. Honestly, any of those old claymations, bro.
I like those. Too.
Love it. Yeah. Love them. You guys need to tell us what like British Christmas movies are famous so that I can watch them. I'd like to see. I'm sure you guys watch those same claymations. Those are pretty universal, in my opinion.
Sure,
I don't like a Charlie Brown Christmas, but
it's one of the weaker ones. I'll agree.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, we already kind of got this question. We already answered this, but PCL scored twice for Leeds. It's 7-15. Very better on a goal each. Did we get this wrong? Jacob thinks no. I think yes. We've got to disagree with each other sometimes, Jeez, like what's the point if we're just like an echo chamber? Like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
jeez, let's start a dialogue. God.
Yeah. All right. What would you give David Moyes for Christmas?
A right back.
I was gonna say a left back.
Okay.
Yo, let's go. All right. And why not? Do you think we'll get a left back in January?
God, I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get something. Hopefully, we'll see. I don't know. We haven't been linked with anything. Lump of coal. Who does he play for?
There he walks in our 11.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't been linked with anybody. There's been like nothing. It was like a tiny little Ivan Toney, who's now Ivan Toney the felon.
The other name 12, did it? We never talked about that. Yeah, let's move on from him.
Oh man,
My fault. That's
nobody's been linked. I don't know, honestly. It's
I'm sorry.
We'll see what happens. I'm sure. Didn't Angus Kinnear say something about the? I didn't get to watch that. I need to remember to watch that. About January transfer business. I'm sure January is always tough. It's a World Cup year, so maybe there's a little bit more, better quality. I would assume we'd probably just get one loan if something's good enough permanently. I think Kobe Mainoo's name has been floated around a little bit.
Saw Xerxes' name a couple times.
I would not want Xerxes.
Not for us. I don't want him, but that's one of the names I've seen a lot.
Yeah. Kobe Mainoo's the one I think that might get the most press, let's say. Yeah. Obviously because he's a Manchester United youngster who
we need a striker.
Yeah, we need a striker, right? We need everything and more. And we need a recruitment team to find those players. But let me end on this. I watched Aston Villa versus Manchester United today. Morgan Rogers, fantastic player. Manchester United are an idiotic team, and I don't understand them. They're just so lackadaisical in everything they do. But it really, really, and I have nothing against Aston Villa. It's not about Aston Villa. It's about Everton. It really irks me seeing a team like Aston Villa do as well as they are. Yep. Because it's just about the levels we were at and who's gone for. Aston Villa have like lapped us in growth like 4 times over. And I understand that like we have been dealing with a really poor owner, poor in terms of like a bad owner with no plan to execute. Understand it all, but it is really, really disheartening and demoralizing as an Evertonian at times to watch clubs like Aston Villa, even clubs like Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, get Champions League football, get these European nights. Have the ability to sign players and to scout good players, right? You think, Alexander Isak played for Newcastle, right? Like they have Voltamonda now, who's fantastic and will probably end up going to like a Real Madrid within the next 2 years. Like they have these fantastic recruitment and fantastic players. Aston Villa with Morgan Rogers, and even though Ollie Watkins isn't playing well, he's still a great player. You Scott McGinn, all these, and some of these players have some longevity with the club, but getting that recruitment right and getting the managerial hirings right, like I just hope so desperately that we can do that within the next 3 to 4 years.
Dude, I'll say why not us? I feel like we're next. Forrest even did it for a second.
We've been saying that for so long we're next. I've been saying that since like 2009, man. We're next.
New stadium, new owners.
Yes, there is actual tangible evidence that something is changing. So we can only go from there.
Lock in.
All right, lock in, boys. Let's go, Toffees. That is it for tonight, guys. We just cut it. We're like 1 minute under an hour. I got to hit this in the next 60 seconds. Thank you for joining us tonight. The 251 people that are here now or were watching before. Thank you. Follow us both on our socials at USAEFC, as you see on the bottom left, at Richie Jacob 625. That is not the year he was born. He is not a vampire. But he has those husky eyes. All right. Ew. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you probably next Sunday after Burnley. We'll see. It's the holidays. Things get crazy. Enjoy it. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. And we'll see y'all soon. Take care. Up the top.